Do you ever feel like your mix sounds weak and thin? No matter how much EQing and compression you add, your song just seems to be missing something. Well, the answer to what you're missing is likely the proper use of saturation. Saturation is going to make things sound fatter, more full, and it's going to help instruments or vocals cut through the mix. Now, trying to understand how saturation works can sometimes be a little confusing. The easiest way to explain what saturation is would be to picture an analog piece of audio hardware. This could be a preamp, a tape machine. There are many examples of analog hardware. Now, all of these things are going to contain electrical components within them. They'll have transistors, transformers, tape, or tubes, circuits. Now, when these electronics are overloaded, what happens when you drive the signal into these devices so hard that they reach their physical limit? They physically can't reproduce the audio signal in a way that you're asking for. So what happens? Well, a couple of things occur. First, when those louder parts of the audio signal reach the limit, you're going to get some soft knee compression. But more importantly, what you're going to get is harmonic generation. And harmonics are basically the multiples of a root frequency. So for instance, if I play a single low A note with a synthesizer, we can see here on the frequency analyzer that it lives at around 100 hertz. Now, if we drive this signal to the point of saturation, you'll now see that we have created harmonics higher up in the frequency spectrum. These are all multiples of the root note. This is why saturation makes things sound more enhanced and complete. You're adding more thickness to a sound, which makes it easier for our ears to perceive. Let's go ahead and take another listen, and I'm going to turn the saturation on and off so you can hear the difference. Now, an easy way to kind of grasp what's going on when saturation occurs is to think about what happens when you enhance the saturation on a picture that you took. What happens? The colors start to become more exaggerated and everything kind of seems more warm. So think about how colors are enhanced when you add saturation to the picture, and then equate that to adding harmonics to an audio signal. Now, there are different types of harmonics that you can add to an audio signal. You have even order harmonics and odd order harmonics. Even order harmonics will be the even multiples of the root note. So for example, if your root note is 100 hertz, 100 times 2 is 200 hertz. 100 times 4 is 400 hertz. 100 times 6 is 600 hertz. Now, odd order harmonics are just the odd multiples of the root frequency. So for example, if your root note is again 100 hertz, 100 times 3 is 300 hertz. 100 times 5 is 500 hertz. 100 times 7 is 700 hertz. So in general, even order harmonics are going to sound more clear and pleasing to the ear, while odd order harmonics are going to sound a little bit more edgier and aggressive. And depending on the device that's being overloaded, you might get even order harmonics or odd order harmonics, or a combination of the two. Now, thankfully, we have many plugins that emulate the saturation that you would get from overloading these pieces of analog hardware. Some of my favorites are the Decapitator by Soundtoys, Blackbox Analog Designs by Plugin Alliance, Magmatubes by Waves Audio, Spectre by Waves Factory, and Harmonix by Softtube. All of these plugins sound amazing. I use them on every mix: vocals, drums, 808s, bass. Now, something that I do recommend is trying to incorporate different types of saturation on different sounds in your mix. And by this, I mean use different saturation plugins on different sounds within your mix. You want to pull from different tools to get different characteristics and flavors. Mixing a song is a puzzle at the end of the day, so you want to try your best to fit each sound within your song together. And remember, less is more. You don't want to go overboard by applying saturation to every sound in your mix and then also applying it to your master. Be subtle with the saturation and use it intentionally with a purpose. Let's take a listen as I slowly add in some saturation to a vocal.
So many open wounds from the battles that she's going through, and now she's strapping up her boots and she's headed out, wondering how the sun is gonna come out for another day. But there's just something that I need to say. So many open wounds from the battles that she's going through, and now she's strapping up her boots and she's headed out, wondering how the sun is gonna come out for another day. But there's just something that I need to say. she's had enough.
All right, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.